With the greeting of the sun each morning, each day, you wake up to find yourself at the start of another gift of hourly time you can experience. Yet your life of yesterday and before is not forgotten, since the past has a habit to linger. And while a new day may have started, it doesn't mean that your mind and body awake with that very same purity and freshness that the morning wind brings when breezing through your window. And with the first step back on the ground after floating on a pillow of cottons for the night, you might realize that a good night's sleep is not enough to provide the luxury of an empty mind. Days are often filled with consumption, a shared word, a fleeting sight, an exchange of energies, some of which hold more meaning than others. With time, you learn the difference between hollow phrases and sharings that are infused with greater importance. Still, there is so much that the eyes see daily, so much the mind needs to comprehend. But without the space inside, your mind is always behind. It is sad to know that that comes at the cost of not being able to fully be present. But how could you if the balance between headspace and information is off, not aligned with the natural capacity of the mind? No blame on you for consuming much. This is an age in which many aim to occupy free minds. Consumption is so highly praised, and all systems are intertwined with this fate. It is no surprise that human minds get addicted to receive more than they can comprehend. And with that spiral of taking in more and more, the fear of silence starts to roar. Because the longer you avoid a place of silence inside, the scarier it gets to break through the tornado swirling in the mind. So it's easier to stay addicted to thoughts and to disguise the natural calling to come back to a 0 point. As long as you don't want to face what awaits underneath the layers of thinking, you might always lay at the mercy of your own thoughts. But if you want to empty yourself, let this be your reminder that it is in the silence where the greatest beauty takes place. Let's remember the silence together, and with it, its sweet embrace. Create a moment in which you can come back to yourself, one that feels safe, without the influence of surrounding echoes of other people's belongings, and hold yourself while creating space, letting thought and emotion unravel themselves, repeating the confirmation that you now allow for this chaos to take place. It sounds silly, but it's true. That the way to the quiet is right through the chaos, sitting in the midst of your storm and letting it move through your body while the knots slowly detangle themselves. It is the magic of the natural rhythm inside that guides the noise back to silence, just like the scream of the fox dies after all has been said in the forest, or how the water of the lake comes back to a mirror surface after the last ripple sets. Every noise that has ever been has come out of the silence, so it is as much a part of you as it is in every other thing, gentle and soft, untouched at its core. When you take a step back into the background of things, you'll notice the underlying stillness has not left. Like a wallflower, just observe from here how the unfolding of a thought leads to them fading away. Because you let go of all the no's, the telling of not now, not this. Instead, you grant your mind the freedom to exist, knowing that you don't need to react to any of this. The feelings, the tension, the tingle, the pain, the thoughts of uncomfortableness. You are not your thoughts, but the observer behind, so you can decide by what you are defined. It's you who decides on the unique value you give to what is in your mind. But for now, you don't have to decide. Just watch your thoughts pass by while the space inside grows bigger and brighter, one thought at a time. And suddenly, with the next deep breath, you exhale all the rest, becoming light and soft, meeting yourself at your core. Since when the mind is empty, the body speaks more. Sensations of peace and contentment flow through your veins, and the connection to yourself is revealed. A feeling of all is okay that connects you to the eternal lessons you can see in nature every day. The silence that allows for the true purity of a moment to unfold, not poisoned by the prejudiced mind, rather felt by the body's core, seen with eyes of wonder and received in the presence of a conscious mind after all. A wakeful experience, intense and not dulled. Welcome back to your connection with the silence that lives inside your core.
Hello, beautiful beings. How are you feeling? I hope that you're feeling good and that you can enjoy life at the moment and be present. I am in my car right now because it's so windy outside, you wouldn't be able to hear a thing. So I'm in my car, it's quite cozy in here. I went into nature today to empty myself out completely, and I feel like sometimes we forget how important that is in a world full of consumption. And I thought about a time in my life when I was so afraid of the silence in my mind. I was so afraid of what was lingering underneath it, underneath all the thoughts that I had in my mind, all the chaos that was up there. And I think I was just afraid of discovering what I truly felt and what I truly wanted. And I was afraid to ask myself the questions to discover what I really felt and what I needed in that very moment. And over the last 10 years, I have been on that journey of really falling in love with the silence in my mind and to keeping my mind empty and silent. And it helps me so much to feel my body, to listen to my heart, and to know what I really need in every moment. And from a center of peace, I can then experience life in its full beauty, because I can be so much more present and make conscious decisions. And I see so much clearer than when everything is busy up here. So let this be a reminder to empty yourself out, because our capacity isn't limitless and we consume so much in our day-to-day life and fill ourselves up. So it's always important to empty ourselves out again. And I hope you can find something that works for you. What I like to do is to go for ocean swims. I like to journal. I like to sit in the silence, meditate, get everything out, every thought on paper, draw, or just walk barefoot, lay on the ground, be in nature, be outside. Have a good talk with a friend where you can be all true about everything, all these little things. And I try to do that every day, emptying myself out every day, because I'm consuming stuff every day too. So I need to empty myself out every day. So yeah, don't be afraid of the silence in your mind. And when you find it difficult to invite the silence and to come back to it, just take it step by step, create a safe space for yourself, and from then go little steps each day, just allowing your thoughts to be present and let them move through you. So thank you so much for listening and for being here. I'm sending you so much love and light and happiness as always, and I'm gonna see you again very soon.